Hi, today here I am presenting you 100 questions for the All India Bar exam. Which article of the Constitution provides for the right to equality before the law? Article 14. The power of judicial review in India is derived from Article 32 and Article 226, through which it is possible to enforce the fundamental rights. The President of India is elected by an electoral college consisting of MPs and MLAs. Which of the following is a directive principle of the state policy? Promotion of international peace and security. Which schedule of the Constitution contains provisions regarding the allocation of seats in the Rajya Sabha? Fourth schedule. In the Kesavananda Bharati case, the Supreme Court ruled that basic structure of the Constitution cannot be amended. Which article deals with the amendment of the Constitution? Article 368. Which article guarantees the right to freedom of religion? Article 25. Under Article 356, President's rule can be imposed in a state if there is a failure of the constitutional machinery in the state. The 42nd Amendment Act adding fundamental duties. The Constitution of the India came into force on 26 January 1950. Which of the following articles is related to the protection of life and personal liberty? Article 21. Fundamental rights are guaranteed under Part 3. Which of the following is issued to produce a person before the court? Habeas corpus. The concept of directive principles of state policy is borrowed from Ireland. The term secular was added to the preamble by 42nd Amendment. The preamble of the Constitution was inspired by the Objective Resolution. Article 370 gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir. The right to constitutional remedies is provided under Article 32. Who is known as the architect of the Indian Constitution? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. What is the minimum age to be a member of the Lok Sabha? 25 years. Union Public Service Commission is constituted under Article 315. Which article prohibits discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth? Article 15. Which article provides for a uniform civil code? Article 44. Right to education is a fundamental right under Article 21A. The concept of basic structure was propounded in Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala. Which schedule deals with the anti-defection law? 10th schedule. Freedom of speech and expression is protected under Article 191A. Who administered the oath of office to the President of India, Chief Justice of India? Which body is responsible for the enforcement of the fundamental rights? Supreme Court and High Courts. The emergency under Article 352 is called National Emergency. The total number of fundamental duties listed in the Constitution is 11. Reservation in public employment is provided under Article 16.4. The term of the Rajya Sabha is permanent body with one-third members retiring every 2 years. The 73rd Amendment Act relates to Panchayat Raj. The Indian Constitution is called federal because it has dual government, power is divided between central and states, it has written constitution. Which article gives the governor the power to reserve a bill for the president? Article 200. A money bill can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. The concept of public interest litigation was introduced by Supreme Court through judicial activism. Who appoints the Chief Justice of India, President of India? The ninth schedule was added by First Amendment. The Election Commission of India is a constitutional body. Which article provides for the impeachment of the President? Article 61. Which article deals with the special provisions related to the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat? Article 371. Who can suspend fundamental rights during emergency? President. Which of the following is a constitutional body? Election Commission. The Constitution of India was adopted on 26 November 1949. The concept of fundamental duties was borrowed from USSR. The office of Lok Sabha Speaker is found in which article? Article 93. Which part of the Constitution deals with the Union Executive? Part 5. The maximum number of members in the Lok Sabha is 552. In which part of the Constitution are the fundamental duties mentioned? Part 4a. Right to information is part of which fundamental right? Article 19(1)(a). Who can declare a financial emergency? President. The Finance Commission is constituted under which article? Article 280. Which article deals with the amendment procedure of the Constitution? Article 368. Which of the following is not a writ issued by the Supreme Court? Injection. Adult suffrage in the Indian Constitution means voting rights to all persons above 18 years. The ninth schedule provides protection to laws violating fundamental rights. Which case is associated with the doctrine of eclipse? Bikaji versus State of MP. The Indian Constitution provides for partly rigid and partly flexible. The residuary powers lie with Union government. The President can dissolve the Lok Sabha on the advice of Prime Minister. Election Commission of India is a constitutional body. How many schedules are there in the Indian Constitution currently? 12 schedules. Who is the guardian of the Constitution? Supreme Court. The 44th Amendment deal with the national emergency provisions. Judicial review is available under Article 13, 32 and 226. The governor is appointed by President. Protection against self-incrimination is given under Article 20(3). The Constitution of India is the supreme law of the land due to Article 13. The term state under Article 12 includes government and parliament, government and legislature of each state, local authorities, that is all of the above. Which article guarantees freedom of religion? Article 25. Which article abolishes titles? Article 18. The appointment of judges of the High Court is made by President. The 86th Amendment made which education level a fundamental right? That is primary education under Article 21A. Free and compulsory education up to age 14. What is the meaning of quo warranto? By what authority? How many types of emergencies are mentioned in the Constitution? 3 emergencies. The power of pardon is conferred on the President by Article 72. Which amendment added Part 9A to the Constitution? That is the Municipalities. 24th Amendment. The term secular in the preamble means equal treatment of all religions by the state. The word socialist in the preamble denotes economic and social justice. The term Union of States is mentioned in Article 1. Who was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Fundamental rights can be suspended during national emergency. The national emergency is declared under Article 352. What is the minimum age for election to the office of the President? That is age 35 years. Who among the following can issue writs? High Court and Supreme Court. The principle of natural justice is embedded in Article 21. Which of the following is not a feature of the Indian Constitution? That is the rigid Constitution. Who is empowered to form a new state under Article 3? That is the Parliament. The concept of single citizenship is borrowed from UK. Separation of powers is a feature of presidential system. The word republic in the preamble means elected head of state. Directive principles are not enforceable but fundamental in governance. Equal protection of law is borrowed from the Constitution of USA. The Constitution was adopted by the Constitution Assembly on 26 November 1949. Indian federalism is described as quasi-federal. A law inconsistent with fundamental rights is declared void to the extent of inconsistency. The idea of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity is borrowed from French Revolution. Thank you. Please subscribe.